We told you last week about a problem with dangerous mold in Okmulgee's high school. Tonight, the community will gather at a town hall meeting to hear what's being done to remedy that problem. Our Tami Marler is in Okmulgee tonight with a preview. Tami?
Scott, initial reports of mold at the high school actually started back in August when the school opened for fall session, but that was before anyone knew how potentially harmful that mold could be, some of those molds. Our investigative report breaking the mold actually kicked off with a call from a concerned parent. As the investigation began to unfold, more parents, teachers, and students began surfacing with stories of health problems they believe are tied to the molds found inside the high school. After our in-depth report, school officials announced this town hall meeting tonight, which they say they hope is educational and not confrontational.
Information session, which is what it's designed to be. You know, this is a town meeting. We're trying to get everybody good information. There's not a question that's going to go unanswered.
I think that the people will go away with a lot broader understanding of what this mold is and what it can do than what they had before they came. And if we can educate people as to what really is happening, what really is going on, that'll make me happy.
And that is a promise from Randy Smith, their environmental specialist that they have hired to help them with the remediation. The meeting starts at 7 o'clock tonight. There is one problem. Seating is limited. We're told that there are between 40 and 50 seats, and already people are beginning to show up. The meeting again starts at 7 o'clock. It's at the school board building at 8th and Muskogee. This is Tami Marler reporting live from Okmulgee.
10 o'clock update.
An eye-opening meeting tonight for one Green Country community as residents hear possible remedies to a problem of dangerous mold at a local school. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Terry Hood.
And I'm Paul Serrell.
School leaders in Okmulgee held a town meeting tonight to talk about their solutions to a potentially dangerous mold problem, one that's been growing for months. Our Tami Marler has been investigating this story for weeks now. She was at tonight's meeting and joins us live from Okmulgee with the very latest. Tami?
Terry, our News on 6 investigation breaking the mold was part of the reason for tonight's town hall meeting. We helped to expose many of the health hazards associated with some of the molds found in the high school. Some of those molds people are very upset about. The meeting was standing room only. It was very heated at times, and I think it was more than just about anyone expected.
Would like to introduce Mr. Randy Smith to you via some background information so that you might know
Flowers quickly handed over the town meeting to the district's hired environmental consultant, Randy Smith, who has carefully planned his agenda.
As soon as I finish my presentation, we'll go through the questions and read those questions.
Within a half hour, the meeting degenerated. Parents, teachers, and other concerned parties couldn't wait through the presentation to ask their questions.
High concentrations are especially apparent in the Bldg samples, which are measuring total spore levels. Anyway, as a result, the exposure risk remains for individuals with allergies and asthma.
Ray Hudson is reading from the University of Tulsa report featured in our initial investigation that revealed a dozen different fungi at the school. Hudson's grandson was pulled from school by his doctor because of symptoms that can be associated with mold.
Listen to this, folks. Dr. Flowers had the gall to call Terry's doctor and tell him he was being biased. Right now, I'm asking for Dr. Flowers to resign and get the hell out of Okmulgee. I'm asking you to resign, lady.
Without help from school officials, Smith tried to keep the meeting in order without success.
I know what symptoms they're talking about. I have been coming to the board and to Dr. Flowers since the very first board meeting of the year. The reason you're getting the response from the community that you are, and I apologize for that, is that we have not been listened to. We have not been given any information. We come to a board meeting, and the format it's set out is that we can ask anything we want, but they don't have to answer us.
All they do is they come up there and they try to put a little bleach on or something. They try to close it down. And closing it down ain't doing nothing. Ain't nothing being done. It's eating my skin up because I was in there trying to strip computers out of there because I was trying to be a leader at my school.
Have that authority.
Can you do remediation while the school's in progress?
No.
Close it down.
We've already covered that machine.
In the 6 months since Okmulgee High School discovered its mold problem, many at this meeting expressed frustration, even though the superintendent maintains they're doing all they can.
We're asking questions, and she's back here laughing, smiling. You know, can she say something?
what has been done and what has taken place has been presented to you tonight, that is documented all of it.
As you can see, some of the people in town are very frustrated over the mold at Okmulgee High School and the fact that it's taken more than 6 months to clear it up. But there are no good guys, no bad guys in this story. Well, perhaps the bad guy is the mold. But this is a relatively new phenomenon that this school is dealing with, and it's dealing with in a very public light. A few very good things came out of this meeting. Number one, they're incorporating the community into the remediation, and they're accepting suggestions and answering questions. They will inspect the extent of the mold problem beginning next week. They just did the initial report with the University of Tulsa, and now they're going to be doing a further inspection. And they will be listening to students about their health concerns, and they will be releasing a newsletter next week. And we, of course, will be following this story. This is Tami Marler reporting live from Okmulgee.
In a News on 6 investigation, Breaking the Mold, we showed you the problem of mold contamination at Okmulgee High School, something that's upset a great many parents, teachers, and students. The News on 6's Tami Marler was in Okmulgee at a community meeting last night and says many folks came away with more questions than answers.
Just look at the list and see what we have done in the district since the 24th of July to try to fix that.
Many of the people who attended Okmulgee's town hall meeting say it was their first opportunity to express their concerns about a potentially harmful mold since it was first found at the high school back in July.
I'm a registered nurse. I know what symptoms they're talking about. I have been coming to the board and to Dr. Flowers since the very first board meeting of the year.
This school nurse, parents, students, and teachers expressed frustration over the lack of information being released by the district about a dozen different molds. Much of what they've learned has been distributed by this man, Ray Hudson, whose grandson was removed from school by his doctor after experiencing headaches and breathing problems.
These levels represent a potential exposure risk to individuals with allergies or asthma who are sensitive to fungal spores. That's on the same page.
Hudson says he was disturbed by a University of Tulsa report that listed the molds and described some of the symptoms associated with them. But it's not just the adults demanding action.
It's eating my skin up because I was in there trying to strip computers out of there because I was trying to be a leader at my school.
The meeting may have been brutal at times, but some good did come of it. The morning after, there was understanding and hope on both sides.
There's been an extended period of time here from July to where we're at now. There have been some delays. So there's going to be an emotion buildup, and I hope last night was maybe a pressure release and we got rid of some of the emotion and we can all calm down now and step forward and start working toward getting the solutions and get it done in a timely manner.
I think we need to know how bad it is to where if it is bad, we need to get the kids out. And if it's good, tell people, let's get it off our minds, you know.
Tami Marler, the News on 6.
Now, Okmulgee school administrators say they welcome citizens' input into their long-term plan to clean up the mold, and that's a process they say could take 5 years. They'll resume testing for mold
Some area
next week.
schools are struggling to control dangerous mold in their buildings, while a Tulsa family fights it in their own home. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Terry Hood.
And I'm Paul Serrell. Happy Valentine's Day. Topping our news tonight, a follow-up to an investigation that has one town in an uproar. Early this month, the News on 6 uncovered potential health problems associated with mold in Okmulgee High School. We continue to receive phone calls from concerned viewers, and as Tami Marler shows us, one Tulsa family who asked to remain anonymous hopes their plight can help others.
This little house might look like a dream home to some. In fact, it was to the family who once lived here. But inside lurks a nightmare that ultimately drove that family away.
It started with a small darkening color on a hardwood floor that was only 6 months old. And the hardwood floor had been put in just a few months after the vinyl siding had been put on.
The owners of this house are in litigation over the vinyl siding they say has caused them years of problems.
We weren't aware that there was anything wrong, and I finally went to have the floor fixed, and that was the first time we discovered that we had mold.
And it wasn't just any mold. The owners submitted a piece of their carpet for testing. Reports show large amounts of specific fungi known to wreak havoc on those with mold allergies.
It can cause upper respiratory and eye symptoms, itchy, teary, runny eyes, itchy, stuffy, runny nose, severe sneezing, itchy mouth, itching deep in the ears, blocked ears.
And it can get much worse. This homeowner was bedridden for 4 months with at least 2 cases of pneumonia and other ailments.
The headaches were so severe that I was afraid I had a brain tumor. My husband would come home from work and break out into hives on a daily basis.
Inspectors found so much mold in the home, many of the family's belongings will have to be destroyed. They moved to get back their health.
We've only seen a small portion of what's really here, but 360 degrees around this house has wood rot and mold, and it will continue to grow until the material's removed.
That could mean tearing down what was once a dream home. Tami Marler, the News on 6.
The homeowners say they have been in litigation for nearly 3 years, and their hands are tied until the lawsuit is settled.
Since the News on 6 uncovered the potential health hazards of mold found at Okmulgee High School, viewers have continued to call us. Tonight, Tami Marler joins us now with the story of a family who hopes to help others. Tami?
Terry, when we broke the mold story in Okmulgee, I don't think any of us had any idea how serious a health issue fungus can be. We hear time and again from schools, businesses, and families who have been affected by indoor mold. One of those families is involved in a lawsuit with a company they say improperly installed vinyl siding, leaving the house susceptible to water leaks. And that's all fungus needs to grow. The homeowners noticed some water spots, some water problems that prompted remodeling. They found mold throughout the house, but say they didn't realize how seriously it could affect them.
When I removed the carpeting, I had been having headaches, but when I removed the carpeting and took out the carpet pad, I started getting very ill then, and within about 4 days I had pneumonia.
If they're not allergic, the mold can certainly undermine the flooring and wood in the home, baseboards and so forth. If someone is allergic and they're allergic to mold, since allergy is an environmental disease, we look to finding what they're breathing and altering that, hopefully removing it, so that the person will improve.
The family we spoke with today asked to remain anonymous because of ongoing litigation. They say since they moved to another home, they've been in perfect health. I'm Tami Marler reporting live from the newsroom.